Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 13, verses 10 through 13. If you remember from yesterday's reading, Abram and Lot, there has been some strife going on between them and their workers. And Abram says, Lot, we're kinfolk, we're related. We shouldn't be fighting it in this way. Why don't we divide? Why don't you go one way and I'll go the other? And in fact, I'll let you decide. Which way do you want to go? Whichever way you go, I'll go the other way. So let's see how Lot responds. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zoar. So this was a beautiful place. It was so good that it was like the garden of the Lord. It was like the garden of Eden. Everything, all the images of Eden that was in their mind, they were saying, hey, this Jordan Valley, it is just like that. It is wonderful. It is luscious. It is the best place. But notice this was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. If you're familiar with that story, and we will come to that as time allows, but in that story of Sodom and Gomorrah, God rains fire and brimstone from heaven and destroys the area. And so, as you can imagine, the land was not luscious, was not good, was not helpful after the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot is looking around, he's lifting up his eyes, and I have that marked as a sin to confess. Lifted up his eyes. He is making a decision based on what he sees, what he understands. And what he sees is that this is the good land, and that is what I want. But that is not always the best choice to make. Just because it looks the best, just because it seems like it will provide you with the most resources, provide you with the most comfort, perhaps it's the easiest way, doesn't mean it's the right way. Because as Lot goes in this direction, particularly as he makes friends with the people in Sodom, in fact, in very soon, Lot is even going to get captured. He's going to get, there's going to be an attack, and he's going to be taken as prisoner. And so he goes toward this beautiful place, and it actually is going to start causing all kinds of trouble and issues for him. My good friend Matthew Henry, writer in the 1700s, who I've spent a lot of time with over the years and reading his commentary and such, Matthew Henry says, sensual choices are sinful choices. I just had to share that with you. Sensual choices are sinful choices. Sensual choices are sinful choices. When you're thinking about how you can please your senses and how you can please yourself, most of the time, he says all the time, they are sinful choices. Those sensual choices will not bring success to you. It actually will end up biting you later on. Indeed, it does bite. It does bite Lot in just a little bit. So he lifted up his eyes. So don't be making decisions based on your eyes and what you see. Make your decisions based on faith and what the Lord says. Verse 11, so Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Now remember, if we think back previous stories in Genesis, when Adam and Eve get kicked out of Eden, they go east of Eden. When Cain kills Abel, Cain goes east of Eden. So here you even see this idea of going east. They are going away from the Lord's desire or the Lord's direction. So I think that's a little marker for us to say, okay, Lot is going in the wrong direction. He's going eastward. He's going away from the Lord and where he needs to be. Thus they separated from each other. And notice too, Lot didn't say, it was very nice of Abraham to be like, hey, you choose. He was the older. He could have probably just told him what to do, but he says, you choose which way you wanted to go. Why didn't Lot say, no, uncle, you choose. That's really nice. Or, uncle, I hate that we have to be separated like this. There's none of that. It's just like he was almost like super rude and saying, okay, yeah, you're going to let me pick, and I'll pick the best one. I'm going to go. And there's no there's no big hugs or anything there. I hope that's what happened, but the text doesn't mention any of that at all. It's almost like Lot is maybe a kind of happy to be leaving Abraham. And remember, probably most of the riches and most of the success that Lot has experienced was because he was with Abram, and he has been with Abram this whole time. And as we will see, Abram's going to come in and rescue him from being held captive. And he is going to pray for him on behalf, or he's going to pray to the Lord on behalf of him, because he knows that he's living in Sodom. So Abram settled then in the land of Canaan. Good example for us to follow. Settle in the land that the Lord has given you. Be happy with what you have. Be content. Don't be greedy like Lot was, but settle in the land that you have. While Lot settled among the cities of the valley. Bad settling here. Abram, good settling. Lot, bad settling. And he settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Notice he's getting closer to the city, getting closer and closer. And now what? The men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. So he's actually moving his tent closer to these wicked people that are doing wrong, that are going against the Lord. And that's not a good move to make. And it's definitely not a good move to be wicked and to be going against the Lord. So let's make sure that we're dedicating ourselves as best as we can to follow the principles and commands of the Lord, to have a heart full of love and a heart full of compassion for those around us. I pray that has been a blessing to you, and I'll see you all in the next video.